Hey everyone. Something you may notice is that this is a gameplay video, and that's something I've never done on my channel before. The reason I am doing this is because a couple of months ago I made a tutorial on how to make strong weapons and armor, and I talked about how to use the leveling and overriding system, which can be complicated, but it gets easier after doing it a couple times. Anyway, after I made the video I got some more tips, and I discovered some better ways to get the materials you need to make the equipment easier. So I decided to update my tutorial video and to give you guys a step-by-step process on how to make your equipment after you reach level 50 in crafting and forging. So without further ado, let's begin with step 1. Getting level 10 materials. To start with, I'd like to thank Dire Airship and Reddit's Ace for telling me about these two things I'm about to show you. To start with, one of the easiest ways to get a level 10 item is to grow a turnip on your farm and to use the sickle on it each time it grows until the seed is level 10. Then you ship it. And on the following day, provided you completed the villager request that allows you to get higher level seeds in the shop, the seeds that you just sold will be in the shop at the same level you shipped it, and you can buy them an unlimited amount of times, providing you have the cash to do so. But seeing as though they only cost 10 gold a bag, I don't think that'll be a problem. The next thing you can do is to get a monster that produces items and raise its friendship level to level 9. This sounds like it could take a while, but if you follow these steps, it should be at that level in a week or so in-game. I'm going to show you a monster in my barn that produces a level 10 item and tell you how to get it to like you really quickly. As you can see here, I have a killer ant in my barn, and it produced a pretty carapace for me. As long as you have fodder in your box, your monster should produce something every day. Now, the way I got this guy to like me so quickly is to do these 3 steps. First is to brush it, the second is to give it an item, and the third is to take it with you when you go somewhere. Now, step 1 and step 3 don't need an explanation, but step 2 has a little more to it than just giving it any old item. Normal monsters like anything you give them, however, every single monster has a favorite item you can give them, which makes them like you even more. Now what makes this even better is that their favorite item is usually what they produce. So let's see what happens when I give my killer ant the pretty carapace it just produced. As you can see, a heart appeared above its head, which means that it loved the item. But as I said, not all monsters love the item they produce, like the woolly for example. When I give him the wool he produced, he just kind of likes it. So make sure you're giving the monster what it loves each day to boost their friendship level quickly. Oh, and if you're curious about what the woolly loves, it's shears. As for finding level 10 ores, there's no easy way to do that. You have to mine around and look for it just like always. Okay, now let's move to step 2, leveling and overriding. The reason I'm doing both those methods at the same time is because to get the most powerful equipment you need to do these both at the same time. To begin with, let's make the strongest sword that we can, which is going to be the Orochi. Don't worry about putting level 10 materials on it because we are only going to use this sword to override the stats of a weaker sword. After the sword is made, we need to find out what longsword we can make that we have the level 10 materials for. And it looks like it's going to be the Zweihander. However, since this Zweihander Plus is basically made the same way but with the regular Zweihander and the components, we're going to make that instead. So we'll be needing to make a regular Zweihander as well. Now that we made the sword, it's time to upgrade them. Don't worry, all we need to do is get them to level 10, so it won't matter what level the item you throw into there is. Now that they're both level 10, let's make the sword. When making the new sword, I like to make sure that the weapon I'm using to override the weaker one is in the front of the list, so I won't forget about adding it in the end. Now all we need to do is fill up the remaining spots with the level 10 items, so let's go with the turnip seeds. And there you go. If you notice, the sword is slightly stronger than the sword we used to override it with, so that means that the leveling system and the overriding system both work. Now all we have to do is upgrade it all the way to level 10 using level 10 items. If you follow these steps, your sword should look something like this. Now that we have our godly weapon, it's time to move on to step 3. Destroy everything. And that's everything you need to know about making strong weapons and armor. If you want me to cover a specific topic in Rune Factory, or a different game in general, let me know in the comments below. And if you like what I do and want to see more of me, like and subscribe. Also, don't forget to vote for what villager you want me to cover in next week's video. And as always, until next time, see you later.